All right, and it's that time that we all love, time to learn some proper English pronunciations. Let me bring in Willice, the word master. You saw him earlier. Willice, it's great to see you this Friday night. How are you this evening?
Fine, thanks, Betty. How are you?
I'm fine, Willice. You know, a few minutes ago, I was reading this business story, and I could not, I was a bit confused if it's potato or potato. You know, apple, apple, tomato, tomato. So I said that that's going to be the first question.
We say potato.
Okay, potato.
But we have tomato. The problem is when we come to, you know, the word potato, it's just potato. But tomato, in American English, it's also tomato. So it can be a bit confusing, Betty.
Yeah, very. I was confused there for a moment. Okay, so first things first, Willice. Let's get straight to our word on the street now.
And hence. And hence.
Appearance. Appearance.
Hii haisomeki tafadhali. Akia Mungu. Ni adherence ama ni nini? Watu wala hawajasoma bado.
Adherence, adherence, adherence.
Adherence. Adherence. Adherence.
Thank you so much. Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence. Adherence.
Adherence. Adherence.
Appearance. Appearance.
Adherence. Adherence.
Sijui kama ni adherence ama adherence. Is it adherence or adherence? Adherence.
All right, Willice, you've heard there someone saying, E-word haisomeki. All right, so talk to us about the correct pronunciation, Willice. I've had, maybe I know...
Kwa hivyo ni shida ya matamchi or matamshi, something like that. Jamaa ameenda kwa Kiswahili kidogo, eh?
Naelewa, Willice. So, adherence, adherence...
It happens, Betty.
Yeah. So, Willice, talk to us about that
We
one.
say adherence. Adherence. You say adherence. We say adhere.
Okay.
And we have adherence and adherent. But remember, in American English, adherence, you may also hear of adherence. Adherence. Okay. But we say adherence. You can also say adherence if you prefer the American English.
All
adherence.
Right. And it's to adhere. Is that correct, you said?
Yeah, to adhere, not adhere.
Yeah.
You may be hearing so much of adhere locally. That D and H, it's not a digraph like in the word dhambi, which is a Kiswahili word.
Yeah.
DH, we say or we pronounce the letters separately but closely. Adhere, adherence, and adherent. But we don't say adhere, adherence, or adherence, and adherent or adherent. We should avoid those, especially in careers of serious communication, Betty.
Okay, Willice. And I heard you saying especially or especially. Did I hear right?
Especially. Especially, you can also say especially. You know, we have what we call the nuances of pronunciation. You know, some of, the differences or the mistakes may be, very, minor, that it may not change the meaning. But in most cases, when you want to deliver the intended messages clearly or effectively, you should get it right in terms of the sounds in a word.
Sounds scientific, Willice, but, we take it. I've also heard you saying to deliver and not deliver. I'm learning a lot even as you talk, Willice. Deliver.
Deliver, no. Deliver. Deliver. Don't say deliver. Deliver. That is the short vowel sound E, or the pure one. Don't say deliver. To deliver.
To deliver. Okay, Willice, got it. Moving on swiftly, Willice. So this word, it's a bit complex, but I'll try and say it. Do we say gingivitis? Gingivitis.
Yes. You say gingivitis.
Okay.
Gingivitis. That is that condition in which the gums around the teeth, they are
Yeah.
swollen or they are painful and sometimes red in color. So we talk of gingivitis. The medics
Gingivitis.
can tell us more about that.
All
But
right.
the pronunciation, gingivitis.
Gingivitis. Got it, Willis. Moving on to another word. Do we say disease or disease? You hear that one also talking about illnesses. Disease, diseases.
Well, you say disease with the voiced sound z.
Okay.
Disease, ugonjwa. But when we talk about somebody who has died or that which has ended, now we have the CEASE, you say deceased. Deceased. The deceased person, not the diseased person.
Okay.
CEASE, cease. But when we have S, EASE, you say Z's. So disease, ugonjwa. But deceased person, a bit tricky, Betty.
Just a bit tricky, Willis. Let me spell out the next word. E-N-S-U-E and SU and Sue. How do we say that one?
You say in or N. In Sue
Wow.
is American but acceptable, and ensue. You can say to ensue or ensue. You can also say to ensue and also ensue. So in and N are acceptable, Betty.
All right. I think I'm going to go with the ensue. Sounds a bit complicated, Willis. That's one word.
Ensue or ensue.
Okay. Okay, Willis, got it.
You can also say ensue and ensue. So those are alternatives, Betty.
Okay, Willis, thank you for that. Moving on to this other word, and I'll spell it out. R-E-N-E-G-E, renege, renege. How do we...
renege. To
Wow.
renege, renege. To renege on this and that. Renege. It's a tricky one.
Wow. So that has
today
caught me off guard.
the words seem to be tricky, but that is it.
Tonight, Willis, you're shocking me all the time. I mean, so you said renege? Is that what you said?
Renege. Renege.
And here I am thinking it's renege or renege or something like that. So it's renege.
It happens, Betty.
I
I've always
know.
said nobody is perfect. So sometimes when we make some of these mistakes, we should not just, be like, oh, now, why should I be saying this? It happens.
It happens,
And it
for
happens
sure.
to all of us. Nobody is perfect.
I, Willis, but you, on the other hand, I'm not sure if I would say the same for you. Walking dictionary. Moving on to the next
No, it
word.
happens.
Yeah.
Not even Willice, Betty can know everything in a language. Not even your mother tongue. Languages are too wide.
Okay, got it, Willis. At least I feel much better. Moving on to this other word, we see it a lot. M-E-M-E. You see this a lot on the internet, people creating this thing. Is it meme?
Betty,
Meme?
that word, many
Mem.
people say memes. Memes
Yeah.
because of what we see. And it becomes very, it's amusing to hear of memes.
Yeah.
Of course, the name meme is in, I think, Kamba, Kisi, and even Luo community. But
Really?
when we
Kamba.
talk of the word in English, we say memes. Memes.
Memes.
Not memes. Not memes. Memes.
Okay.
Memes.
All right, Willis, got it.
Yes.
Moving on to the next word, juxtapose. Is that the correct pronunciation of this word? Or is it, at this...
That is
Okay, so it's not juxtapose.
no.
Okay.
The way you said it at the, the first one.
Okay.
Juxtapose. Then we say juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. Not juxtaposition.
Okay.
Juxtaposition, no.
Okay.
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition. All right, moving on to this other word, purchase. Purchase, how do we say that?
Oh, that one we have the primary stress on the first syllable, that is per. Purchase, not purchase, purchase. Purchase, to purchase something. Just like we say bargain, bargain, not bargain. Bargain, to bargain.
To bargain.
Not bargain.
All right.
Purchase. Purchase.
Purchase.
Not purchase.
Purchase. Got it, Willice. I always say
Yes.
bargain, so it's wrong. So it's bargain. Sounds much better. Yeah?
Bargain. But remember, in bargain,
Uh-huh.
we have what we call the long, low front vowel sound but
Long,
we have
low.
in purchase.
Willice, you said long, low, front vowel.
I think that one we can leave it for a class, Betty. The long, low,
Long,
front
low.
vowel sound just like in the word park, P-A-R-K,
Okay.
park.
All right.
But then we have now purchase.
Okay.
Purchase, it's, back. That is the mid-central sound
Okay. All right, Willice. I'm also learning how to explain it to
Yes.
other people when I meet them on the streets or friends. So it's the long, low,
I know.
front
We learn
vowel.
from one another, or when you are two,
Yeah.
you learn from each other, Betty.
Okay. All right, Willice. So today I've learned that long, low, front vowel. Okay. Moving on. Sounds so scientific. But anyway, Willice, let's move on to our feedback question. And then this one is also about that stress. Determine, you hear determine, a lot of that. So how do we go about that? That is from Tobias Karanja in Naivasha, asking that word.
Oh, Karanja Tobias.
Tobias.
Karanja
not
of
Tobias.
Naivasha, and our viewers, Tobias.
Tobias.
Betty, we always see Tobias, and locally, when you say Tobias, some people may ask you what? Betty, what
Yeah,
are you saying?
I would
But
ask you the
that
same.
is the pronunciation, that is the accurate pronunciation of that name, Tobias.
Tobias.
Karanja of Naivasha, you say determine. What we
Okay.
should avoid is determine.
Okay.
Then Jared Oundo, you say mentor, not mentor.
Okay.
A mentor.
A mentor.
We also say corridor, not corridor. Yeah, mentor. Yvonne Munyasia, you say schedule. Schedule of classes. But remember, schedule, we have schedule. Schedule is used in American English.
Okay.
But schedule, the British English, S, C, and H become what we call a trigraph. That is combination of 3 letters representing one sound. Schedule. Very locado, you say mutual. Mutual, not mutual. Mutual understanding, not mutual understanding, yes.
Mutual.
Jack Sido, you say engineer. Engineer, not engineer, which is used in Kiswahili. Engine, engineer. Engineering, not engineering. Vincent Rotich, you say favor. Favor, not favor. Leslie Humphrey, Paul Eddie Conchella, and Patricia Nekesa Wafula, we also say thank you for your good words about Friday briefing or mind your language. But then, Betty, we can now go to our surprise word for tonight.
All right, Willice, let's...
Betty, what do you see, my dear sister? What do you see?
I can spell
what
it out.
What the eyes see. What your eyes see.
So it's C-R-O-C-H-E-T. That's what I see.
And you must have heard of crochet, Betty, if I'm not wrong. You must have heard many people saying crochet. Crochet. The word is crochet, or crochet.
Crochet.
You say crochet or crochet, not crochet. Some of these words can be very tricky. Just like what we call beret is beret or beret, not beret. So some of these words can be very tricky. Then we have 3 words, Betty.
Wait, Willice.
D-O-S-S. Okay.
You said beret?
Yes, what do you have, Betty?
Like you said beret, we say...
You don't say beret.
Oh.
What we see is beret, but the pronunciation is beret or beret. You can also say beret or beret. So that T
like
is
the red
silent.
Beret.
You don't pronounce it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you say red beret or red beret, not red berets. So
That's a surprise.
we have to be very careful sometimes when we are dealing with some of these words.
Got it.
Yes.
All
So
right.
now we have 3 words, Betty. D-O-S-S, we have D-O-S-E, and we have D-O-Z-E. So D-O-S-S, when we are talking about sleeping in a place which is uncomfortable, maybe like on the floor, when you dose, you don't say to dose, it's dose, dose, D-O-S-S, dose.
Okay.
Then
Surprise,
D-O-S-E,
surprise.
that is an amount of medicine, you say dose, dose. An amount of medicine, dose, dose. Then when we have D-O-Z-E, that is to sleep slightly, and for a short time, you say to doze, doze. So, dose, dose, and doze.
Okay.
So, some of these words are very tricky, Betty, especially when you are in a career of serious communication. You may say dose when you mean dose. You may also say dose when you mean
Dose.
dose. And you remember, like when we were talking of the ICC, many people find themselves saying court, court. And you know, court is not mahakama. Court is C-O-T, like baby court.
Court.
C-O-T. But
Okay.
when we talk about mahakama, Betty, we say court with that long sound O. O.
Okay.
But when we talk about what we wear, C-O-A-T, you say coat. Betty, we can go on and on and on, but from
Willice,
Kisumu, that is all
That
about
was
it
that
from me.
was mind your language overdrive. It was great. That has been really interesting, Willice. But my biggest surprise is red beret and not red berets. That's what we're used to hearing all the time. So thank you for that. Yeah,
It
the
happens,
mistake has
Betty,
been
it
corrected.
happens. As I always say, nobody's perfect. And for those who want to ask more, if it's not on Friday, and if you don't catch things on Friday briefing, you'll always get me on Twitter. That is at Willice Ochieng 1.
Twitter and not Twitter, right, Willice? Not Twitter, but
No, Twitter, 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 Ndwera, Ndwira, all those things. You know, we have what we call, Betty, regional pronunciations.
Regional.
Because of certain maybe dialectal, factors, factors of dialect or maybe first language influence. We go to America or the northern part of America, like the Nevados, when you tell them to say better, they'll say better.
Better.
Say sweater, sweater. When you say Twitter, Twitter. Those ones are there. You can't avoid that, or they can't avoid that. But when we talk about the accurate sounds, T takes the sound T. And that is letter, sweater, Twitter, and all that. But that is not to underrate any other pronunciation, Betty.
True, Willice. I've had people saying Betty Kialo, so it's Betty, yeah? All right, Willice, we could go on and on
It's
here.
Betty.
Not Betty. All right, thank you so much, Willice, the Word Master there, joining us live from Kisumu County. Like he mentioned, if you have any more questions for him, questions and not questions, you can tweet him directly at Willice Ochieng 1, and he's going to be able to answer all those questions that you have in regards to pronunciation. Keep it to pronunciations only. All right. So we want to take a break, but sports news is coming up shortly, so don't go away.